Hey guys, welcome to week 14. Of course, in the regular season, and of course on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Lexy2MD. We've been doing this for a few weeks now with our picks, and also if you're catching us on YouTube. So I'll start at the beginning, the Thursday night game, which is not too far from now, as a matter of fact. Indianapolis and Tennessee. You would think that the Colts would be able to bounce back here. Peyton Manning in one of the worst slumps of his career, if not the worst. I don't think that's going to last forever. He'll wake up eventually. He'll come out of it, and Tennessee will probably be a good opponent to do just that. So I'm taking the Colts here. I can't see them losing this game, even with Peyton slumping like he is. Let's see. Buffalo and Cleveland. The Browns have played tough, and they played tough. They went to overtime against the Jets. They beat New Orleans, and so I got to go with Cleveland here. Although Buffalo, they've been in 3 overtime games themselves, just haven't won any of them. But, I'll take the Browns, even though the game's in Buffalo. Let's see. Green Bay and Detroit. You take the Packers here. Obviously Detroit has back to hitting the skids again. So you take the Packers here to keep up in the NFC because they need the win. Giants and Minnesota. The game's in Minnesota. Of course, nobody knows if Favre's going to play or not. So with that being said, even if whether Favre does play or not, I'm still taking the Giants because A, the Giants need the game, and B, I think the Giants are the better team. I've been wrong before about that. I could be wrong again, but at least as of right now, I'm taking the Giants. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. Pittsburgh the clear-cut favorite here, and I'm taking Pittsburgh. But I'm sure Cincinnati would love nothing more than to derail the Steelers in their run to the playoffs. Even if the Steelers lose the game, it doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna miss anything. But I think just from a division rivalry standpoint, I think Pittsburgh should be up for the game. So I'll take the Steelers. Tampa Bay and Washington. I'll take the Bucks. Washington, at 5-7, they're not the worst team in the world, but I just don't. Maybe it's just me. I just don't see them winning this game. Tampa needs to bounce back from the Atlanta loss. And this might be a pretty good spot to do it in, so I'll take Tampa. Let's see, Atlanta and Carolina. Atlanta hands down. Carolina's, pretty much off the cliff. So you're going to take Atlanta there. And as I scroll down, just to, whether this game was in Carolina or in Atlanta doesn't matter, despite Matt Ryan's impeccable record at home. So you take the Falcons, bottom line. Jacksonville and Oakland. Oakland obviously surprised some people, and Jacksonville. I'm sure a lot of people didn't think they'd be 7-5 and in first place in the AFC South, but there they are. So I'm taking the Jags. Although it wouldn't stun me if Oakland won the game, but I'm gonna take Jacksonville because they need the game to stay ahead of Indianapolis, and the last thing they want to do is slip up on their way to the finish line. New Orleans and St. Louis. While St. Louis has done a commendable job of getting at 500 and staying in the race in the NFC West, which is not all that difficult to do, but nonetheless, they've done a commendable job. You like New Orleans here, not so much because they're the defending champs, but just because they're the better team. That's what it comes down to. San Francisco and Seattle. Well, I could take the Niners here, and I will take the Niners here. Just Seattle, I don't think anybody's royally convinced about Seattle yet, so this might be a spot where San Francisco can knock them off at home, and so I'll go ahead and cautiously presume that Singletary will get them up for this game, so I'll take the Niners. New England and Chicago. This wasn't all that tough a game to call because while Chicago they've won their games, as I talked about on our preview show, 2 Minute Drill. I talked about this with Ed Lizer, that 2 of the 9 wins Chicago has are against teams with winning records, which means the other 7 are teams against teams 500 or lower. So based on that, plus the fact that they can't protect Cutler, they've given up 45 sacks, most in the league. I'm gonna take the Patriots, and that's combine that with the whooping that they put on the Jets. So you take New England there. Now, speaking of the Jets, they will be at home against Miami. Rivalry game. Neither team likes the other very much. So I'll take the Jets. Cold weather. We talked about this a week or two ago about a warm weather team coming to a cold weather environment. So this is a classic example. And plus, you would think that the Jets had the better team. So based on those factors, I'll go with the Jets. Now, let's see. Denver and Arizona. Tough game to call just because both teams are really, hit rock bottom. You figure I'll pick Denver just based on the fact that they got a new coach coming in. They want to get him his first win. But just based on that, I'll go with the Broncos. And, even though the game's in Arizona, I'll go with Denver. San Diego, Kansas City. Now, if the Chiefs win, combined with an Oakland loss, the Chiefs win the division. So I think that'll probably be some motivation for the Chiefs. But for some reason, I like the Chargers here. I don't know. I think that speed bump that they got last week is not going to deter them from winning this game. So I like Rivers and the offensive firepower of the Chargers to persevere here in this one. Philadelphia and Dallas. For one of the rare times that I'll root for the Cowboys, just for divisional purposes, I still think Philly's going to win the game. I just don't think that at this point, Dallas probably doesn't have enough to play for to stay in this game from wire to wire. So I'll take the Eagles, even though, like I said, from a divisional standpoint, as a Giants fan, I'd love to see the Cowboys win just this rare one time. Baltimore and Houston, Monday night. The Ravens, are the clear pick here. Houston's been, and so, could Houston jump up and knock the Ravens off? It's possible. But you have to like Baltimore and what they bring defensively to the table, that smash mouth game against the Steelers. So I don't see them slipping up here against the Texans. So there you have it, Week 14, 116-76, 40 games over 500. So happy about that. My best week last week at 12-4. So looking to move forward. As I said on my Facebook post, it's going to be all downhill from here. But in the meantime, anytime you guys want to listen to the show, it's 2md.lexy.com. So 2md as in 2-minute drill.lexy.com. So I will talk to you guys on Sunday night. Until then, take care.